What's up, everyone? This is Lady Di with Dating to Marriage Support. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you are in the room, please get the likes up. Please get the likes up. Today will be an interesting topic. I have someone calling in today, and her complaints on why she is single is because she thinks men or most men are boring. She wants to be entertained. She is not messing with you guys who are not going to entertain her, okay? So if you are considered a boring guy, this is for you to hear what a woman is thinking. And if you are a woman who believes the same thing as the lady that's going to call today, please listen to this. You're not going to want to miss. We're going to get into some serious conversation and to dissect what's really going on. Is it that they're boring and that turns you off and you can't make that a deal? Or is it really just you don't really want to be with anybody because maybe you're boring? Who knows? I don't know. We're going to find out. But I want to play a few clips. Let me put the link in the chat first, so anyone could call. Let's see. So if you want to call and to get more into this conversation and maybe share some of your experience as well, please hit the link. I put the link in the chat. It should be posted on YouTube, and we're on and Facebook. Again, thanks for being here. So let me ask you guys. So for the ones who believe that boring is like you have to have that, you should not be boring. I don't know why this is such a touchy topic there, that men are too boring. You're not trying to deal with them. They don't, give you anything spontaneous. You just there, maybe a couch potato. Like, that's a big deal for you guys. That's a big deal for you guys. But why? Because ain't no way a man is going to entertain you all day. Okay. So I want whoever's in the chat, or when I get my callers, I want you to explain to me, why is it such a big deal? And how much entertainment do you want? That's the big question. How much entertainment do you want? Does it have to be every day? Like, you can't be bored. If you bored You're done? Or what? What's the real issue? And what is boring to you? That's another question. What is boring to you? What does that mean when you say a man is boring? What does that mean? Does it mean that he's not doing the things that you like? You guys don't have the same interests? Like, what does this really mean? Because quite frankly, he could think that you're boring too, right? Did you think about that? I don't know. All right, so I'm going to play a clip of a guy explaining how he feels.
If you don't want to build a fort, just leave me alone. Don't flirt with me. All right, it's not going to work out. I'm fun. Listen, if you don't like building blanket forts, that lets me further know that we not meant to be. We shouldn't even flirt. That means you is not down to duel and talking bad accents. That lets me further know you are not good at laser tag. And it's just like, I'm just tired of the toxicity and like all y'all want to do is go on dates to talk about financial goals. What about right now? Why can't we go have a lightsaber battle in the park? Huh? Because it's boring. I don't want it no more. I'm not doing it. I'm too old to be playing games that aren't fun.
He's tired of playing games that are not fun. Did y'all get that? He's saying you boring too, because you ain't trying to build no fort with me. So he feeling the same way. Like, we got to have similar interests. But why can't you guys have things that are not similar? Why does it have to be similar? Because what happened to opposite attracts? You guys don't believe in that no more? What happened to that? Okay. And the lady who was calling in today, Miss Antoinette, please click on the link and get ready. We are waiting for you. The link is in the chat, not in my description. It is in the chat. All right. Why is it such a big deal? Because let me think. When I was younger, I'm still young. When I was younger, I used to say the same thing. I would never date a guy that's boring. I would never. You know, because it's like, what are we going to do? We just going to look at each other? That's it? What are we really going to do? Because this is not going to happen. We're not having fun. And if we're not having fun, is that a relationship? Us watching TV, that's it? Is that a real relationship? Can we build on that? Can we have a foundation? Can we still get married? Can we have kids? And we just a couch potato? Can you still have a life? Can you still have a life with this person if you're a couch potato? Because quite frankly, couch potatoes sit on the couch after work. So your bills will be paid, right? So he's boring, but he paying bills. So I guess you can have a life if you want your lights paid, right? All right. Couch potatoes, all they do is just watch TV, movies all day. And I guess they go out sometimes. So you're not willing to do none of that? That's too boring for you. So what would you like to do? Did you ask them, hey, this is the things that I like. Are you willing to compromise? Did you ask the man that? Is he still saying, no, I'm not going to do that? No, hell no. Let's play another clip.
This is part one of things that all women wish that all guys knew. All right, so look, the first thing, and this is probably the most important thing, this is probably the main reason why y'all losing y'all girlfriends, or why the girls y'all messing with, they not messing with you no more. This is probably the main reason why. And that reason is that y'all are not spontaneous. Y'all are boring. They think y'all are boring. Y'all are boring them. You texting her every day. Boring. You planning out the dates 2 weeks in advance. Boring. You gotta be spontaneous. You feel me? So look, stuff like, oh, you just text her randomly and tell her get ready. Don't tell her where y'all going. Just tell her get ready. Go pick her up. Go on a date with her. You feel me? That's fun. That's gonna keep them interested in you. Be spontaneous. Like for part 2.
All right. So this young guy is saying, hey, like, be spontaneous. These women ain't feeling you. Like, You got to excite them. He just mentioned that instead of just texting her, hey, how you doing? Just hit her with a meet me at whatever at 8:00. That's what they want. They want that. So they could be like, ooh, where we going? You know what I'm saying? Ooh, okay. Damn, what should I put on? You know, well, how should I wear my hair? Listen, that's fun. But is it needed? That's the question. All right, I'm going to add our caller on and we're going to get into this topic. Hey, Antoinette.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, that's amazing. How was your day today?
It was good. Just a little tired, but it
Yeah,
was good. I can't complain.
I hear you. You know, I'll be tired too with all these kids running around. I know you probably like, I'm done with that stage. You got any grandkids or anything?
Yeah, I have two grandchildren. And then I still have a 16 and 17-year-old. My
Okay.
other two kids are grown and out the house. So
I know that's nice.
right.
That's good. So I want to get into this topic. You know, we were talking briefly, and you were telling me you're not trying to be with guys that are boring because they don't entertain you, right? So
Yes.
can you explain to me what is boring to you? So if you're with a guy, what doesn't excite you? What is he doing that you don't like?
Okay, so I'm just let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm out. I have three small businesses, and I also model.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always out modeling or networking or doing something, in the community, something positive, trying to get more customers and just, modeling and fashion and things like that. So for me, it's hard to find a guy who can keep up with that and, want to enjoy life. I'm at a stage where I just want to enjoy life. I don't want the negativity. A lot of people say, well, you're just always too busy. I just want somebody that wants to go out and enjoy life. Not saying everything I do, you have to go with me. But the guys I've been running into just don't like to do nothing. They just want to sit around. No, they're successful men, but
Okay.
they just want to sit around and not do nothing. They just want to be homebodies, and I'm just not a homebody.
And is it you're not a homebody because of your lifestyle? Like you're always busy doing, your businesses?
Yes,
Okay.
always busy.
Okay. So if you're too busy, then how can you enjoy that much life, I guess? Like where do you fit that in? Like how many days a week is that?
So let me tell you, and that's another reason why I don't date, because I feel like sometimes I'm too busy to hold on. Now I do date, but like far as being in a relationship, I feel like I'm just too busy right now, trying to accomplish my goals and just trying to, get my future together. So right now it's hard for me. But even when I'm dating, it's just like everybody is just boring or they just want sex. They're just not really into, trying to get to know someone. It's just either they're boring or they just want to have sex. And that's just it. It's just like nobody tries to put the time in. I mean, it's just like,
Yeah, it's just this or that. Yeah.
yeah.
Nothing gray
So
and clean. So that's interesting. So you hit a few things. My question is though, maybe besides, I guess, them wanting sex, that's one thing. But maybe because you're so busy, you think they're boring because your life is exciting. You said you do fashion, like modeling. You have shows, right?
yeah, fashion shows. I'm in fashion shows.
You in fashion shows. I used to model, so I know exactly what you mean. That's hectic. So that's like adrenaline rush. So as soon as you go, to a man, you still wanting that adrenaline to go, right? So
Right.
it's like You know, is it because your adrenaline is still flowing when you get home, or after work, or is it just you think they just boring?
I mean, I just been dealing with a lot of boring people. I'm just gonna be honest. Nobody wants to do anything. They
Okay.
don't want to go out. Like the guy said, I people just aren't spontaneous anymore.
Yeah.
They just don't put the time in to try to even, try something different.
Mm.
A lot of guys I've been dating, just not even romantic. I mean, it's just like me, I'm always the one putting, the work in, trying to build a successful relationship or even dating. When I think the person is the one, they just show me like they're not.
So you said a few things, but I'm gonna go one by one. Now,
Okay.
you said that they're not the one, because I hear a lot of women saying that they're not the one, they're not the one. What made you what did he do to attract you? Because he did something for you to even get to know him in that way, and then now you say he's not the one. So what made him not the one all of a sudden? Was it because he was boring?
um yeah, I can say that. And then, people start showing their true colors. So I'm just always, one of the people that's always busy, and I understand that. I tell people that I don't hide that from people. When
Yeah.
I'm dating somebody, I say, I'm very busy. I do like to do things and go out. I do make time for, what I feel. If you want to go out, just give me a heads up. I'll make time for it. But it's just still, you get with somebody and they just, very charming. At first they start doing things, we nice dates, and then it's just like they start showing their true colors after a while. Like a lot of complaining, just not really understanding. Even though I told them that I'm a very busy person, they really don't understand it. And that's why I just remain single. Like I just can't find someone who matches me.
That's it. I was gonna say, I think it's more like your lifestyle. Like you're saying they're complaining and they may feel like you don't have no room for them because they're not even in your industry. Because that's the industry that you in. They not even in that. They doing their own, thing that makes them money. And they're like, well, I don't even know how to fit your life because I'm over here, let's say plumbing or whatever it is that they do in a 9 to 5 job. And you over there at night, however you do your shows, normally it's probably like midday, evening, or something like that. How
Mm-hmm.
can I fit that when I get off of work at this time? So should I go to her shows every day? But I'm bored. You see what I'm saying? Now they bored.
Right.
But now y'all both bored. They don't know how to fit you, is what it is. So my suggestion will be finding someone in your industry or finding like a businessman who will be patient enough to understand that you're busy just as much as he's busy, because businessmen are busy too, but at least you guys have the same like business, you're business driven, you have business goals, so you will have similarities there. Have you dated any businessmen before?
Yeah, I have. I've dated businessmen, but not really. No, not really. I try. I really don't. Honestly, I don't have the time. But when I am dating, I've dated a few businessmen. I tried to date some older men. It was just all about games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like some people understand and then some people don't.
Yeah. Let's read some of these comments to see if they agree with you on that. So, hey, girl. So, I must admit, I haven't really experienced boring men. I mean, there's a time to chill and a time to step out. Okay. So, yeah, there is definitely a time to chill and a time to step out. So, basically, men stop being so chill when they with their woman, not just excite them, but excite you. Like, if you're going to be a couch potato, is that really fun for the man? Do they really get enjoyment? Is that satisfying for them? Because if it is, then that's definitely something that is not you're not similar in that, because their excitement is just to chill all day. Like they're okay with that, because some of these guys work really hard and they ain't got time to step out, you know? So then it's like, you got to like reevaluate who you're dating. You might need to date a man who's busy, because busy men, they like to be out too. You know, the adrenaline that I was talking about.
Right.
So finding the type of man is based off what he's doing. So if you get a man that just goes to work and goes home, that ain't gonna work, because a lot of those guys, they gonna chill, or they're gonna do something relaxing, like I don't know what guys do today, what, going golfing, or you know, a whole bunch of stuff, playing pool, you know, relaxing stuff, you know, go to the bar. That's going to the bar is just drinking. That's really nothing. You just go in there, sitting at the bar and just talking with your boys. That stuff, that's the type of stuff they want to do. They not trying to go be spontaneous and figure out what I'm gonna do for us today, or because they not feeling it. So if you get a guy that is feeling to be spontaneous because he enjoys what he's doing too, then that might be your best bet into trying to finding that true, you know, partner.
Right.
So let's see what else. Someone agrees with Simply. Okay. Hello. Thanks for your comment. Someone says, too simply, yeah, it's having a balance. Yes, you do need a balance, but it needs to be a balance based off what y'all like together. So if you get a man that his balance is to go to work and to come home, then y'all balances will be different. Because what we can't do as women is make men do what we want. Like if they not in it, they not in it. They don't satisfy them. I can't make a man be satisfied over something that satisfies me, because now it's like I'm like this because maybe my upbringing was to go out every weekend. You know, my parents always took me out, so I'm always wanting to go. His upbringing could be they ain't do nothing. They ain't even celebrate nothing, you know, like graduations, whatever. You graduate, oh, here, good job. You know, you never know how people grow up. So it's like, we can't put, oh, what satisfies me need to satisfy you, and then we're going to call them boring. So it's not that they're boring. That's just them. So then we find someone that's like us, like you, right? So that's when you're on a date, you got to ask those questions, like, you know, how was your upbringing? And if, remember, you don't want the boring guy. So you got to ask specific questions. Like, so, you know, when you, I don't know, let's say they play basketball. When you won a game, did your parents throw you a party? You know, did he have spontaneous things in his life? Did someone be spontaneous for him? Because if no one was spontaneous for him, how he going to be spontaneous? He don't even know what that is. He don't even know what the feeling is. Like, you know, for me, when I was growing up, I had spontaneous things happen for me. So I know the excitement. So that's what I like, because that's what was given. You know what I'm saying? So you got to like dissect the guy and figure out, can he be spontaneous based off his upbringing? So when you go on a date, do you ask questions like that? Or is it more like, you know, simple questions? What do you do for a living? And, you know, that type of stuff.
It's more simple questions. I never really asked, and I'm glad you said that, really asked about, you know, I get into childhood, but I don't, you know, that's later on in the conversation. Just, you know, picking their brain, seeing how they grew up. But I never really asked somebody, you know, something about being spontaneous, you know, how did you celebrate after a win or something like that. I've never really asked that out on a date. Like, honestly, I really haven't. But I know when I am dating people, I try to be as open as possible to let them know, you know, what type of person I am. And, you know, I kind of try to set, you know, after a few dates, you know, setting boundaries and different things like that. But like I said, it's just, I've been single for 3 years. I just haven't found someone to match me.
I think because, so, you know, you're not going to think of those questions on a date. It's just, you know, when you're talking to somebody like myself, I'm a wife coach. I understand dating. I've dated a lot before I got married, and I understood the dynamic of men. And then me in my marriage, like I understand that there's different type of men. So that's how I'm able to navigate, to help you navigate who you need to, or what type of questions you need to ask. Because I realize that people are just who they are, and it's not fair for us to sit here and try to change it and then label them. They need to be with people that match them a little better. You're not going to be all the way like so with similarities, but at least some of the stuff need to be there, because we wonder why people ain't changing. Like imagine being in a marriage, and for 20 years this man or this woman has been the same exact person, and you're like, you need to do this, you need to do that. You know, I know women that divorce men for being boring, and it's like, dang, he ain't do nothing else, that was just it. And at the same time, it's like, well, damn, if maybe we had conversations like what we just said, it could have been avoided, because it's really not fair. At the same time, we got to match each other. We could do it ourselves. So it's just asking the right questions. So when you explain yourself to a man, saying what you do, I should say, this is what I do, this is what I'm about. With men, you got to kind of be real direct. You telling them that you're into you know, you have the fashion shows, you're in fashion shows, you're model, and all the stuff that you do, all your businesses. They don't know how to please you because you didn't really say anything. You just said, this is what I do. They don't understand that because you're so busy, you're always wanting to always do something, because you don't want to be bored in the house. You want to go out because you have one life to live, right? So you gotta kind of like spell things out for guys. You ain't gotta give them all at once. Like, hey, I want to do all these 10 things. No, you just be like, hey, your first, let's say after the first date, your first date, let's say for you, what is your ideal first date or second date?
My ideal first date is just really going somewhere, maybe out to eat, for like a first date, just really getting to know someone, somewhere sitting down and really being able to have a one-on-one with them and conversating. Like maybe, you know, going out to eat, or maybe a winery or something, somewhere where we can be able to communicate and sit down and get to know each other for a first date, you know, because you really want to get to know a person.
You do. Yeah, that's important. What I'm trying to get out is what is fun for you. So you want to be entertained, right?
Right.
So what type of entertainment you want? Because if you talk, I was going to get there on how to date. You know, you get the talking out, you got to understand each other. Like that's the first thing you should be doing. But for him to understand that you want to be, you don't want to live a boring lifestyle, we got to figure out, well, what does that look like? Because if you don't spell it out to him, everybody's not romantic. You know,
I've noticed that.
You noticed that, right? So it's like, okay, let me help him out. Let's see if he could catch up with it, you know, and then you could suggest a date. Like, I don't know what you like to do, but you figure out what's that fun thing for you. And you say, hey, can we go here? And if he says, yeah, cool, you go, analyze him, see if he's having fun. Is this something that you think he would do again? Because if he does, then he may be able to keep up. Because because there's some guys who are boring, but if you suggest, let's do this, like let's say y'all exclusively dating. No, you're in an exclusive relationship. I'm sorry. And he doesn't suggest nothing. So he's not spontaneous. But every time you say, hey, let's do this, he's like, all right. Would you be okay with that?
If he's what?
If he's like, okay, you pick out the dates because you want to have fun, so you're gonna pick it out. He doesn't know how to pick it out, but he still wants to go with you, and he has fun when you guys go together. Would you be okay with picking the dates and he goes with you, or do you want him to pick it?
Yeah, I would like. I mean, I would like for both of us to do it, because that tells me that you know. It depends on, you know, like if you first getting started out and you like, okay, well, I really don't know, you pick it. But after so long, I want for the person that I'm dating to come up with some things too. Surprise me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Be spontaneous. I mean, it can be anything. And it don't have to be a whole lot of money. It can be, you know, a picnic in a park, or walking through the park and just looking at the birds. You know, it can be something like that, but it's the thought that counts to me.
Yeah. So I'm gonna speak for men that are not romantic, because a romantic guy gonna be romantic from the first date. You know, they're gonna come with the flowers, they're gonna come with the charm, like you was saying. The men that you were talking about earlier just want to sex, so they're gonna charm you like that. But the ones who are gonna charm you because they're just charming and they're good people, you're gonna see it right away. But I'm gonna speak for the guys that you're not gonna see it. So with them, sometimes you starting off suggesting these spontaneous dates may help them understand, okay, so she likes to be surprised because she keeps surprising me. So I'm gonna get her back. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it because, you know, I'm kind of thrilled and excited because I'm like, whoa, we're where, you know? And then it will help them understand, like, okay, I'm gonna do this for you. On top of that, how you treat the man as well. You know, like if you're sweet, you're good to them, you're doing things without them asking, it's gonna make them start to love you a lot more, right? Because love for a man is different. When a man loves hard, they will do anything. You get what I'm saying? They're gonna please you. But besides you helping them, coach them on how to be spontaneous, you gotta be a good ass woman. Because they're you know what I'm saying? So as long as you're showing good quality traits, like I said, don't be selfish, be selfless, do stuff without them asking. Those type of traits men really like. Like they don't want to have to keep asking you for something, you know, because then it's like they're begging. Who likes to beg or like bow down and like, you know, can you please? You know what I'm saying? A man don't like that. So that could be ways that could help. Now let me get into these comments. Let's see. All right. Simply says, great input. Having questions ready are important and listening very careful to the answers. Yeah. She says listening very careful because some of these guys are scamming. I call them Scotty the scammers. They scamming us. They like, listen, I'm going to do this. Like, they not they gonna scam you, girl. Like, you know, so you do have to, like she said, and listening very careful to the answers. Yeah. Because you want to make sure you don't miss like a hidden, you know, sometimes they slip out. You know, it's like we're so fascinated by this extravagant date. And we're so like, oh my gosh, she said I could have anything on the menu. And you looking at the menu is like $100, $200. You know, and you can have buys a big bottle of wine for the table. You might be like, wow, he has money, right? But then missing, okay, he just said that he don't like his mama. You know what I'm saying? Because they just had an argument. And you kind of missed that because he said that and he started talking about somebody else. You know, because guys that are scammers, they like to switch up their conversations at least 5 times while they talking to you. You know what I'm saying? So you do got to be careful with that. Let's see. Misery Love Company says Antoinette seems like she is a lot of fun when she is not busy. Okay. Yeah. That's good.
I like to enjoy life.
As you should. Dolly says, yep, always the thought that counts. Yeah. Definitely. It's always nice to have someone consider you, you know, or even if it's something that you may not actually like, but the thought that they try, you know, shows character, shows that they actually care about you. So that's great.
Yeah.
Let me play a clip so we can have a little more understanding. Let's see. Well, no, I'm going to play a clip of this one. Let's see. Oh, they doing me again. Hold on. Let me add this. They did this to me last stream. I'm gonna complain. Hold on 1 second. Let me add it again. Let's see. Here we go.
And nice as a man, don't date. Okay? If you are a boring, nice man, do not date. And don't let a woman find out that you're willing to spend money. Okay? Don't date. You're boring, you're nice, and and you're not shy with the credit card, you're gonna get used, whether it be intentionally or unintentionally, but you're gonna get used. Okay, she's either gonna come to the conclusion and say, all right, he's too nice but he's boring, I'm not feeling it, maybe we should go our separate ways. Or she's gonna turn around and say, well, damn, he gonna tell me yes anyway, I might as well keep it coming. It's gonna go one of two ways. All right, you'll have the genuine woman that really cares about your well-being, or you'll have the woman that's just gonna use you because you're freaking nice and boring. She's going to end up being with a man who's not boring. He might not be nice, but she's gonna be like off on the side, probably doing her own thing. With that being said, okay, it is absolutely not a guarantee that she's gonna have a better experience with the guy who might not be boring but also not nice. It's just to say, don't be surprised if your girl, you find out she's been, you know, doing a little extracurricular activities with another man, and you be like, wait, what? I never saw that coming. Like, that's not for you. You're too good for him. Well, yeah, I know I'm too good for him, but he's not boring.
She said a lot, but I'm gonna explain what she said. She's saying she is not going to she doesn't like, or women don't like boring men. Then she want to put and say that women don't like nice men, boring and nice men. And she's saying if you're boring and nice, you're gonna get cheated on with the bad guy, because the bad guy is spontaneous, but the boring and nice guy is not spontaneous. So you're gonna catch me at his house one day. That's what she's saying. She said all that to say that. You understand? So should you really women shouldn't be like that. Let me just say that. That's not, she's discrediting a nice man when he didn't do anything to you. Boring is not like an insult. It's just like I was saying earlier, that's just who they are. And they should find someone to match it. If you're not willing to deal with it, because there are women who could deal with the boring man. It's not many. But if you can't match it, or he can't find someone to match it, do not even waste your time. You wouldn't know a man is boring from the jump. Like you already know. You know a man is boring right away. So it's good that you didn't waste your time, because that does not excite you.
Right.
But you still have to have a balance too. You have to understand that all men are not going to be romantic. And sometimes those romantic, spontaneous guys are players. Sometimes it's like that, because they're trying to charm every woman that they see. So you still have to be careful. You could find a nice medium, but try not to just look for that spontaneous person and they don't have no chill. Like what someone was saying earlier, they got to have both. You don't want someone that's always out there, because they out there flirting is what they doing. You want someone that can stay home, can be with you. They're a family guy. You need that. That's important. So he won't be out there doing his thing. All right. So Minnie called Few Chosen. I'm late, but here, sis. Who is this? Boring is subjective to your desires and experience. Is this my next caller? I'm not sure. If this is my next caller, let me see. Okay, this is my next caller, y'all. He wants to talk and see, you know, because he has women that tells him as well, he's not boring, but they complain about boring men, and they can't deal with it, you know, and they're to the extreme. Not like you know, you're humble. You seem like a humble woman that may be able to you know, find that middle ground, but they got to come with some more stuff. You're like the guys that you're coming across, they not giving you nothing. They just want sex. And no, you don't want a person like that. So you're realistic with your choices. But, you know, you said you've been single for 3 years, though. So it's like, are you realistic, or are you just being too picky now? See, that's what we got to figure out. Because there's no way you, as pretty as you are, has been single for 3 straight years. That's long.
Yeah, it's long, but like I said, I just haven't found someone, and I'm just not going to settle. Like, I'm just not going to settle for anything. I've already been through the heartache and pain. I've already been through, you know, different relationships, and, you know, I'm just dating myself, learning myself. So the next time, hopefully, is, getting together, getting engaged, and being married. My last relationship, I was engaged for 2 years, and it didn't work out.
That's amazing though, to say that you was engaged, because a lot of
Yeah,
women can't even get that. So that means you're doing something.
right.
That compliment, you're doing something. Ain't no man gonna give you a ring or whatever. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and you ain't worth a damn. So that's what's up. But it ended because
It just ended because I felt like, for one, we were 9 years, our ages was 9 years apart. I felt he was a great man, but the type of man that I wanted in my life is a man that can kind of take control. That me being your wife, I don't want to be the breadwinner. I don't want to be always having to be the leader. I feel like when you're in a marriage, the man is supposed to lead and the woman is supposed to follow. Or it's supposed to be, 50-50. I felt like I was the person who was just always leading. When it came down to financial, I was the person who it always fell back on. And I just didn't want to get in a marriage like that. So I decided that, he was young, and, okay, it didn't work out. So I'm going to let you go ahead and live your life. I didn't want to hold him back. And I didn't want to be somewhere where I felt like I would be miserable. I didn't want to waste anybody's time, and I didn't want my time wasted. So we just decided on good terms to go our separate ways. We're still friends to this day, but it just wasn't for me.
So he wasn't a leader?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good. So that's one of the first things. Like, if you're trying to find substance, I know we were, talking about boring and not boring, all right? But earlier, and before you came on, I was talking about, can you still have a stable relationship with a boring person? And the answer to that is yes, you can, because a boring person could be a leader.
Right.
They could do that, but you just not gonna have the other side. And is it a deal breaker? But like I said, we was already talking about, we still need a common ground, right? So
Right.
Leading is an important step for a man before they even enter in a relationship with you. Because as the man, yes, they should be the head. Yes, they should lead. So like you were saying, we could follow. Let me add my next caller. Together, we're going to talk about this. It's a guy, and he,
Okay.
like I said, he gets the men are always boring. I ain't dealing with that. He gets those type of conversations. So let's hear man's perspective, because I could tell you all day, but we always got to hear what they have to say. So let's add.
Okay.
Hey, Demetrius. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, let's see if he calls, maybe a connection issue. But yeah, so having a leader is super important. Because like you said, what type of, how can you be satisfied if a person that you're with, you're always making the call, like, we have to do this, we have to do that. And that's with everything, with finances, with kids, a whole bunch of stuff. You still have to have, okay, well, what should we do? Help me figure it out. It shouldn't be just you always figuring it out, and then he's like, okay, real nonchalant. That's not even a relationship. That's an associate.
Right.
Hey. We can't hear you. Or can we? Okay.
Hello, so I'm trying to get my volume.
Oh, I hear you now.
I can see you guys, but I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear anything. Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now? Okay. All right. Some technical errors. These apps could be a little difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Yes. So, yes, we have to find the leader of a man. Once we get, so besides the boring part, look for the leader. Men that lead should be the same. It shouldn't be they're leading like a certain specific area. Like leading is leading. So we don't
Right.
want to get confused with that. But that should be like the first thing that you find. We take the boring part out and then think about the leading part first. And because if you don't do it that way and you just trying to have a good time, that's all you're gonna get is a good time, meaning sex. You wanna find that substance first, and the substance is a leader. So to find out if he's a leader, do you know how to find or see if a man has that quality when you're dating? Do you know how to figure that out? If a man, like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, me, if I'm dating a person and I'm dating them for a while, I can't really say because when I was engaged,
Uh-huh.
he came off as being, that picture perfect, person.
Mhm.
And then it started changing. So sometimes but I feel like now, me, what I've been through and going into a new dating life or a new relationship, I will be able to tell if that person is a leader or not. By conversation, by their actions, by the things that they do.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely figure it out, but a lot of people talk a good game. So to figure out if he's going to lead a relationship, because he could be leading a whole bunch of stuff, but when it comes to his women, it's not happening. So to figure that out, you got to ask him like about his job. Let him, it's going to take probably a few times though. Not the first date you're going to figure all this out. But
Right.
a few times, like, okay, when you're working, do you let everybody do what they want to do? Like, and he don't have to be a manager, because some people when you work with, they do a whole bunch of nonsense and they're like destroying the company, right? So do you
Yeah.
allow them to do that, or do you speak up? Because a leader is always going to speak up. It's never
Yeah.
going to be a dull moment. So stuff like that, you could kind of figure out, because if he's going to speak up at his job, he's going to speak up at his house. That means that he cares about what's going on. He cares about his job. He cares about the company and all these things. So he's like, oh, no, you're not going to do that. Let me help you here. You get what I'm saying? So that's
Right.
one way you could find if he's a leader. All right, let's try to add Demetrius again. Okay, can you hear us? Can you hear us now?
Oh, he's going back.
Yeah. I don't even know. Let's see. Let me see something. Wait just a minute. Wait just a minute. One second. Okay, so there are many ways. So that's one way you could find if someone is a leader, right? Another way is thinking about his family, like how he interacts with them. If he has women in his life, of course, the first woman is his mother. But if he
Right.
has like sisters or like, female cousins that he's close to, how does he interact with them? A leader is always going to correct. Leaders, that's what they do. They're going to correct if they see something that's wrong. So is he correcting the woman in his life? If she's out of line, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't dress that way, or, because they're protecting. So looking to see how he interacts with females in his life will detect if he is going to be a leader, because if he's correcting them and trying to help get them better, or let's say add value to their life, it don't have to be always correction. It could be like with your business, hey honey, you ever try to think about this for your show, or maybe wear your hair this way, stuff like that. That's leader. That's a leader, because they
Right.
want to see your best interest. So you could definitely find out ways like that by asking questions. So what else besides finding a leader do you want in a man besides him being spontaneous and being a leader? What else do you would keep
Having patience,
patient?
someone that is patient and understanding. Because, like I said, sometimes I work long hours.
Mhm.
You know, someone who's just patient and I'm the same way. You know, I'm very understanding when if I am dating someone and something doesn't work out, I don't beat them up about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I try to work with them. Now, if it continues and continues and continues, I'll say something and then I'll say, hey, I think it's just best that we go our separate ways because I don't want to waste your time. And, and it's just keep on going on because I was dating a guy. He was an older man and it was just always some bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Always. It was just like, when it's time to get together, never really wanted to do nothing, but always wanted me to come and chill at the house, around 9 o'clock. Like, who wants to do something at 9 if we ain't going out and having a few drinks or catching a late movie maybe at 10 o'clock? I mean, I'm not about to keep on trying to come to your house. And I
Yeah.
don't want you at my house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it was just more like I felt it was more you were trying to, get sex. Because
Yeah.
I feel like if you really want to date someone and you're dating someone, you're going to want to spend that one-on-one time with them during the day, getting to know that person. It's just not always an evening type thing. And I felt like that person was just always kind of looking to want to have sex or want to invite me over to hoping that I spend a night or, be so tired because he was living in Cleveland, I was living in Akron, be so tired where I can't drive home. And maybe, I could spend a night with him because he had his own place, and that's why I just started like the first 30 days of dating someone is outside of the home. Let's get to know each other outside of the home. You don't come to my home. I don't come to your home. Let's get to know each other outside of the home. And it doesn't have to be something that costs. It can, like I said, it can be a walk in the park. It can be us meeting up and networking at an event or us just meeting up for coffee or tea or just something like that. And it always don't have to be where you pay. Like I said, sometimes I don't mind grabbing a bite to eat or inviting you too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But nowadays no one wants to do that. They want to get to know you just, and some people don't even want to get to know you.
Yeah.
They just want to tell you like, hey, I'm looking for sex and this and that. And it's like, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking to one day get married and be with someone. But at the same time, no one wants to get on that level. They say they want a relationship, but then they really don't want a relationship. They're dating more than one person and come to find out they're still messing with an old girlfriend. I mean, it's just, I have some weird experiences. So
Yeah.
it's just like, I'm just not settling. I'm not settling for anything. So I just remain single because I'm not about to settle. And at the same time, I want to have all my ducks in a row when I do meet my future, because like you said, when you're in a relationship, things come with that as a woman. Your man shouldn't have to ask you to make dinner. That should be something that's already, done if you have that type of relationship. A man shouldn't have to ask you for anything. You should know your man.
Right.
And I'm the type of person where I want to cater to my man. I want him to feel special after a long day.
Yeah.
Right now, do I have the time for that? Absolutely not. So that's why I don't push like being in a relationship. Now, I do date from time to time, but actually being in a relationship, I just haven't found, that person. I just haven't found that person.
Yeah, I mean, you are speaking about being submissive, having the food ready. Those are submissive qualities. So if you're able, to do that, guys like that. It's just like the men that you were dating, they wasn't the one to do that to. They wasn't
Right.
leaders. Leaders like that stuff. That's if you found you a leader, you would have compromised with that man. You would be like, okay, you might be a little boring, but we're gonna go out. And they're gonna be like, okay, you see what I'm saying? And that's what that middle ground is. Let's get into some of these comments. Someone says, wait a minute, he wanted a sugar mama. So they probably wanted, money or, how sugar mom, what sugar mama is?
Yeah.
Yeah, they want that. They not trying to entertain nothing what you talking about. Let's see what else. Many called, few chosen says, I think you will have to accept and embrace some not so exciting traits that could possibly change with compromise. Okay, yeah. That's right. Because if someone is willing to compromise, even if it's just a little bit goes a long way. And if you guys are together for a while, you guys are going to start to be alike anyway. You're going to start to like the same things, and then you're going to find things and that you've never liked together, that you never liked at all, and you're going to find things together that you like. It's going to be new things. So
Right.
growing with someone is always important. Okay, Misery Love Company says, yep, those men understand the game well. Then they talk about y'all behind your back. So yeah, those Scotty the scammer guys, they not the one. And you already know what that looks like because that's the guys you were dating. So don't even, they text you, you ain't texting back, like nothing.
Yeah.
Block it and get away from people like that. And he also says, after you find that leader, make sure you trust his way and he will value your opinion. Okay, so yeah, trusting what he's saying. Because a lot of us women, they'll say something and we're like, nah, that's not it. That don't make sense. That's not going to work. And then we're discrediting what this man may have felt would work, and it probably would, but not supporting the idea is gonna like, well, if you're not gonna trust my opinion, then how can I value yours? Is what this person is talking about.
Yeah.
Simply says absolutely to that. Dolly, right. You better see me in the light in the daylight, sir. So when you were talking about they always wanted to be at
Right.
All right, if you're new into the channel and you have never been here before, you want to hit that subscribe button. You do not want to miss any of my live streams. I'm here to inform any and everyone that is on this channel. Doesn't matter what age, doesn't matter your status. This is all for a learning experience. Also, if you are here, please get the likes up if you haven't liked already. Thanks for being here, and I appreciate all of the comments. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, you want to see someone in the daylight. If they always in the night, you already know what they want. Usually
Right.
bedtime action is at night. So I mean, we already know what that is. So that's good that you know. So it's good that you know, because some people don't know this stuff. They're so naive. They're like, well, he paid for this, and well, I guess him wanting sex with me is a kind gesture. Like, no, it's not. All they're gonna do is try to, make you a 304.
Right.
Okay, so many called, few have chosen says, while we aren't settling, are we the woman mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally that we would date, we would want to date? Okay, so I believe what this is just she, right? So you said we. I'm sorry. If you're not a female, please say you're a male, but I believe this is a woman. So if you're not mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, like those type of connections, you don't want to settle for a guy, but do you have these traits that that you would want to see in him? You know what I'm saying? You can't ask for these things and then you don't have it. Because I see a lot of women They want all of this stuff from a man. They want the leader, they want the money, they want the romance, they want all of that. But okay, yes. Okay, thank you. I figured that. I just had to make sure. Yes, we as women, I peeped that. Thank you. No disrespect. Thank you so much for commenting. Yes, so we as women should definitely have those traits, because women today, some of them don't have it, and they want all these things from these men, and it's like, well, what are you bringing to the table? You know, I hear that question a lot. What are you bringing to the table? What type of qualities do you have? Because you can't expect a man to have it and give you the world, and you ain't give him a seat, nothing. So we definitely have to make sure that at least we're on top of our game. And then sometimes the good in us will bring out those men that are good, because good men see good women. You know, they notice it. And that's a good way to gravitate a good man, is you just being good. And of course, you have to be out there, you know, showing face and showing your good qualities, regardless of where you're at. Even if you're at the grocery store, you know, smiling more. You know, if you're at the you know, grocery shopping, you know, a lot of us are serious. We're like, yeah, we're gonna get whatever we need.
Right.
Long ass list, and I'm getting this because I gotta go home. I gotta make my show. I gotta do whatever. But then we don't look pleasant. We're just like so much in a mission. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta make sure that we still look pleasant, you know, when we're out in public. Because if you want to gravitate a good man, they are never going to come to a woman who looks serious like that. Never. Because they know that in today's society, us looking like that mean that you're not interested. Even though a good guy come to you, you might change your face and be smiling because you're like, you know, because remember, you're looking for somebody. You want that leader. So you may not do that in the grocery store because you're single and you've been single for a while. So you might be excited that someone came up to me. But a lot of women today, they not doing that. They not interested, you know. So good men would never approach you. All right, I have another caller. Okay, so we got Mr. Mac.
Hey, what's up, Lady Di?
Mr. Mac was on our show last Saturday, speaking about, what was it? Sexy Saturday, speaking about different things in the bedroom, how we could spice it up and all of that. So if you weren't here for that live, please check out that live. All right, Mr. Mac, what you got for us today? We're talking about boring men, and should women date a boring guy?
Yeah, I'm loving the conversation that how it was going on. I was gonna say, I was gonna add to one of the last things you said was about, so with men, whatever we are, when it comes to like kind of like the boring thing, whatever. So a lot of guys are just focused on being successful, for the most part. Like the good guys, what I would say, the ones that y'all probably desire, and guys really can't have fun until their 40s and 50s because they have to build themselves up. So they have to be on a plan, be on a mission, whatever, so they can kind of build their legacy up. And then when they're in their 40s and 50s, they should have enough wealth if they didn't make too many mistakes or they had the right education, whatever. But a lot of those guys get snatched up pretty quickly. So I would say if a person kind of like up there in age, it's gonna be a lot harder, whatever. But you know what I mean, it's still possible. But I would say just, you know what I mean, be different than the women that are out here today. And I think that'll set you apart for most men that's actually looking. You know what I mean? Because you can catch a guy coming straight out of divorce, and then, you know what I mean, he kind of probably got done dirty, you know, and now he's saying, he's looking at you like, okay, you can be his, you know what I mean, his piece, you know what I mean, when coming home and stuff like that, whatever. So I think it's a lot of ways to look at it. I wouldn't say the boring, it's because the boring is kind of hard because, you know what I mean, when I hear, you know what I mean, boring or something like that, whatever, to a guy, it's kind of weird to us, you know, because we just like, what does that mean? Because every boring is going to be different depending on who you're talking to. But I would say, just like Lady Di had said, kind of give him like a step-by-step guide, whatever, and guys will listen. Honestly, we'll listen. You know what I mean? We like, hey, we like this, we like this. But all right, cool. You know what I mean? I can kind of get with that, whatever. But for the most part, if a guy's not up in age, he doesn't have enough time to have fun. That's how we looking at it because our main focus is not having fun.
And I guess what he's saying is the main focus for a guy that's not up in age, they're trying to make money and have that financial stability. So most of their focus is their careers or their business. So having the extra time to have that fun is going to be limited. So if you're dating someone a little older, you might have people that are, they don't have to be retirement, but they're close to like, okay, they're up in age, meaning they should have found what they want to do by now. They should have a certain set of money by now. They shouldn't be, grinding so hard like they did when they were 30 by now, at that 40, maybe 50. I'm not sure. Older age, I think, Mr. Mack, you mean what age is that group? Like 40s?
Yeah, like 45, 55, around between that age and 40s, 50, late 40s, 50s. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, they should be coming up close to retirement. They should be, you know what I mean? They got a little wiggle in their knees. They can still, you know what I mean, walk around pretty good, having to go dancing and stuff like that, whatever. So, you know what I mean? And then you getting around the midlife crisis time. So they got a Corvette, got all type of stuff.
So they ready to have fun.
yeah. So they ready to live life, whatever. So that's going to be kind of like the ones that's exciting and they kind of want to do more things, whatever. But the guys like the younger ones, like early 30s and 40s, and it's just for all ages. And I'm not just talking to you, Internet, but it's just kind of like for all ages, whatever. So they kind of like get a glimpse of the male's mindset.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, a lot of guys are career driven and that's like their main focus. They do, you have some that would make time for a female, but you got to be a damn good female, But from what you're saying, I don't think you came across that type of guy yet. So you haven't had the chance to experience that recently from your dates. So, taking the steps I was saying earlier, having those questions set, seeing how they respond, you'll know, like I said, if they had they don't have to be an extremely spontaneous childhood, but if they had some type of excitement, some type of surprise, some type of, every time something good happened, there was a celebration or something, was not so boring because some people live boring lifestyles from when they were young, So, you need to know that because that will kind of eliminate, well, that's not going to work because he's never going to even understand how to have fun because he never had fun. And to sit there and figure out if you could try to teach him with someone that never had it, that's going to be weird.
Right.
You can't do that, especially if they're older. They're like, what, whatever. I'm set into sitting on this couch watching, Family Guy or whatever. Let's get into some of the comments.
I was gonna say one more thing. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna add. Women, y'all have a superpower that a lot of y'all don't know. Or a lot of people don't tap into. Whatever. And y'all superpower, y'all can talk a man to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been wars, it's been all type of different things over a woman wanted something, whatever. Even the Bible, they killed prophets and stuff like that to cut their heads off because a woman asked for it. So it's a lot of y'all have a lot of power, y'all have a lot of influence in men, and the more feminine, the more nice y'all are to those men, and just how bubbly y'all are. A man, it's like a man heart with milk. So, but if you coming like all aggressive, we look at y'all now as men. So that's why it's like a big disconnect because we looking at it like, okay, is this a woman like I'm seeing, or is this a man dressed like a woman? You know what I mean? Type of deal, whatever. Not saying, what I mean, for that community, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, so it's kind of confusing to us, whatever, because y'all have that superpower or whatever, especially if a man has a daughter, you probably already know how those situations are, whatever. So a man's woman, she can get a lot of stuff out of him. You know what I mean? If she's bubbly, nice, and sweet, and then now you might excite that guy to, stop being boring to want to do more because he never experienced it because he was so used to being in his comfort zone. But you made him comfortable in not being and being uncomfortable. So that's what I just wanted to add.
Yeah, like it's kind of, I said a little bit of that earlier, you know, sometimes you got to show them and, you know, like, surprise them, let them feel what it is that you want to feel, and maybe that will help them understand why you like it. So many called, few have chosen. Hey girl. We are living in a society where good personality is not enough. We have to go big or go home. Be the best version of yourself and I think you attract what you are. Okay. Yes. So yeah, there's times where, yeah, we would attract women, men, you know, if they are just out in the street wanting nothing in life, you're gonna attract those type of people because y'all understand and y'all speak that same language. You know, it's easy to it's to be comfortable with someone who's doing the same thing as you. But let's say for you, from the things that you've told me, the men that you are attracting is not who you are, because you said a few things to me. Now, it could be your location, and you know, maybe where are you meeting these guys? Let's start from there. Like your last date that you was like, where did you meet him at?
Well, the last person that I dated, I met him through a dating site.
Are all of the guys that you mentioned is from a dating site?
No.
Where did you meet someone in person that you wasn't into?
Like fashion shows or through a friend, you know, trying to hook us up or something like that. But the last guy that I'm dating, and I'm still kind of like dating him, but I don't know. I'm just picky as hell. I'm not
What
gonna
he
lie.
do? What he
I'm
do?
just picky. Well, he's a good guy. He, you know, has a good business. He works trucking. He's a good person. But it's just like I always have to be the person that kind of checks on that person. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I shouldn't have to always be like, hey, how is it going? Or, you know, I'm just always, to me, the aggressor. I don't like that. I don't like always having to check behind a man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then he was like, well, you know, I want to make sure that a person is interested in me, but it's just like that gets boring to me, to where I'm always having to check on you. What's wrong with you sending me a text and saying this? I mean, you know, this and that. You know, I always have to be the one, and it's just like, no, I'm not into that. I want somebody to be into me as much as I'm into them.
Right. So
I want it to be known. You know,
yeah.
I don't want to just always, hey, how was your day? You know, and then I don't hear from you. So, and it's hard for me because a lot of times I'll just say, well, I'm at a point to where I'm just going to give off the same type of energy that they give off. So I stopped, you know, reaching out. And he was like, oh, hey, stranger, you know, what's going on? I haven't heard from you. And I'm just like, well, I haven't heard from you either, you know? So I'm just giving off the same type of energy that you're giving off.
Yeah.
So, but he said that he wasn't a big communicator and it's nothing personal. It hasn't changed the way he feels about me, but I feel like I don't, you know, to me, that's a red flag.
Okay, so I'm glad you let me know something that's currently going on. That's someone that you're currently dating. So, Simply Lily says, girl, you might want to give him a chance. Maybe stop checking on him and give him a chance and check you or chase you. I'm sorry. Did I read that wrong? And chase you. Give him a chance to chase you. Pretty much
Yeah.
what she's saying. So I was gonna say that I wouldn't say that's a red flag because he already told you that he's not a big communicator. So that's amazing that he told you that, because imagine if he didn't, even though you heard it and you like, that's a red flag. But he told you and you told me, right? See, now I may be able to help each other out here. So
Right.
I'm glad you let me know. If he's saying that he's not a big communicator, he's not lying. He's saying, hey, this is not what I do, especially on a text. Texting, some people cannot text. They're more of like a conversation over the phone. When you talk to him or have you talking to him on the phone, or is it just text message?
So we talk on the phone and then we text. So so at the beginning, we were texting, you know how a person, when you're getting to know this person, you put more into it. But as time goes on and you're dating more and more, he stopped texting as much. But then he'll say stuff like, are you still, interested? I haven't heard from you. So I started texting more. You know what I'm saying? Because this is someone that I like, somebody who can understand he's as busy as me. He drives a truck, and I'm like, okay, well, let me be more, because I know I'm terrible at communication. It can be, you can text me and it may be a day that I get back to you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be all the way honest. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, so when he said that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to, give it more. I'm going to be, you're not going to always have to be the one say good morning or whatever. So I started giving it more, and it's like he started pulling back and expecting me to give more and more and more. And it's just like, I'm not feeling that. I mean, you already said that I wasn't really communicating like you wanted to at the beginning. We already established that you're not a big communicator. Like, I'm communicating with you to let you know, hey, I'm still interested. We're still good. But then you're not communicating at all. You will text, you will send out a text, or you may say, hey, let's go out to dinner or something like that. And I can understand that, but don't try to come and say that I'm not a big communicator too, when you're not, then you admit that you're not. You know what I'm saying?
I think with that, it's like, what I hear from this, like he's saying, well, damn, you saying I'm not a big communicator, but you ain't either. I think it's one of those. It's not, I don't think it's, from what you said, I don't think it's nothing to like say, hey, don't hit me up. It's just like, don't complain if you doing the same thing. So right. I do know as a truck driver, they're busier than you probably think because they on that road. Right. So, and then after the road, they got to get sleep. They got to find a hotel to, get back on the road again. So that lifestyle is more than busy. It's like draining. What about bump the texting? Texting is only if you're like, I'm here, right? I'm outside. Like, but to talk, you should just talk on the phone.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to tell him. I said, I'm more of a phone person. That way, if I'm busy, I can pick up you can call me and I can say, well, hey, I'm busy. Can I call you back? Mm-hmm. Or like, if you can text me, I may not respond back to the text. Like I said, for a day or more, because I just really don't pay attention to my text messages. I'm more of a, let's communicate over the phone. Hey, how are you doing? It don't have to be a long period of time. Well, he said, well, I'm the total opposite. I prefer to text. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm trying, it's just basically, well, I'm hanging in there. I'm going to see how it go. I'm just not going to say I'm going to throw the whole thing away. Like I said, he is a good guy, and I'm understanding, I'm being patient because he is a truck driver, and I know he's busy. And I know he can be tired, and I know, with my lifestyle and me working, I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to have a balance.
Yeah, no, that's good. So does this man have any kids? Like, how old is he?
He is 45.
Okay. Does he have kids?
Yeah. Yes, all his kids is out of the house.
Okay.
But he has a 17-year-old.
Okay, that's close to the ages that you were talking about for your
Yeah,
kids.
for my kids.
Uh-huh. So has he been married before?
No,
Okay. So he got how many baby moms or
one.
one? Okay, well that's good because having so many, it's like, all right, you ain't learned yet. You know what I'm saying? These people are no
Right.
good. You got to settle, get married one day. So you think he's ready to be married though?
We haven't really talked about that.
You need to start
Like,
talking about that because it don't matter if you think he's a good guy or not. If he ain't trying to get married, and wait, are you trying to be married? I didn't even ask you that. Do you want to be married?
yeah, I would love to be married.
All right. So if you try to be married, those are conversations. You cannot expect all this stuff and then wait, do you want marriage? Because what if he don't want marriage? Then this will be a whole waste of dating him will be
Yeah,
a whole waste of time. You don't want to
you
waste your
you got a
time.
point.
You ain't got
Right,
time for that. Listen, you trying to go to your show and you trying to be with your man. Like you don't need all that in between. Time is short. Time is money. Time is, loving and enjoying the time with people. So you gotta ask him that. Like today, tomorrow, whatever, you need to figure out what he wants. If he says that he wants to be married, because he's never been married, so he wants to be married, then after that, I think working on communication is like the big issue here. So he rather text because he's driving. So he might not want to be on the phone, which I guess some men are different. So normally if you're driving, you on the phone or you listening to something. But for
right,
him, maybe that doesn't work. He's like, I gotta listen to my music. I can't talk because remember, he says he's not a big communicator. So him
right,
talking, he got to figure out, damn, what I got to say while he trying to figure out where he going. So I could get from the things that you said why he don't want to talk. Um, it's just you got to figure out the compromise. The compromise might be you guys are talking once or twice a week, and it's gonna be when he's not driving. Like he's taking the weekend off. Do you know if he's a local truck driver or is he like a
yeah. He's a local. He's local.
Okay, good. So, on the weekends or whatever 2 days that he's off, that's when you need to be talking to him. And in between that, when he's driving, it's going to be minimal and be okay with that because he's working and he can't because I already explained why. So let's compromise it now. It doesn't mean he's a bad guy. You said you already like him, so I don't
Right,
want you because the thing is, I don't want you to lose if he's a good guy that you're saying, and you're going to figure it out because to see if he wants marriage. You don't want to lose him because of something that was a misunderstanding. That's how
right,
we miss people. How many times have we let people walk past us because we thought they were this way and they not doing this right, so I'm out. We're cheating ourselves. So we don't want to cheat ourselves. We want to make sure, okay, all right, you ain't a big communicator. Let's figure out what else you got. Like, can I have a long-lasting relationship with you? Let's look past that because that's not a red flag. It's not. We already figured out why, right? So now figure out, okay, he wants to be married. Cool. I guess I'm gonna only talk to him once or twice a week. Be okay with that until it starts to change. He's not gonna be talking to you once or twice a week when y'all are exclusively in a relationship because obviously, right? Let's say you guys take it to the relationship status. You guys are feeling each other. He gonna make time for you because he has to. You guys are in a relationship. There's no way he's gonna sit here and only talk to you once a week and y'all exclusive. So learning about each other, that's where that part is fun. You learn about each other. You may learn like, okay, wow, he doesn't like to call, but he don't mind me calling him at this time because he has lunch at this time, and you might want to be helpful. Same with him. He has to do the same with you. You're at an event, so he might like, okay, let me send her something or let me help her a little bit. Like all those thoughts, like we were saying, that count, all of that's going to count. All you want to see if he's going to be committed, if he's going to sacrifice some things for you, and is he going to respect you? If he could do all of those things, then you have a winner. If he's a leader, you have a winner. If all those things, he's willing to work things out. You see how you said that he was like, well, I like you. I want to still talk to you. Are you still interested? He's saying he's interested. You want somebody like that. So I would say give it another try and get those questions out. Ask him that. Do you want to be married? And then go from there. And then just be okay with talking to him once or twice a week for now. It'll change. It's not going to be forever.
Yeah. Can you hear me on here?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, because you got very low. Somebody had called me.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So many called, few have chosen, says 45, trucking, and love to text but not call, scam likely. That's funny. He could be a scam likely, but from what I was hearing about this guy, if you guys were listening, if he's saying he's not a big communicator and he's a truck driver, he has to be focused to get to where he needs to go. Him talking to her is not going to work because he don't know what to talk about. Uh-oh, she's gone. She don't know what to talk about. Mr. Mac, you was still in there?
Yeah, I was waiting. I was trying not to interrupt. You some wisdom, whatever. I was going to add too, like with the trucking thing, that's like one of the top 3 most stressful jobs a person can do, whatever. So I would say a lot of times, like, it's a lot of liabilities that goes into being a truck driver, whatever. So maybe he doesn't want to talk as much, whatever, because he has people's life in his hand. Because if he hits somebody, he always gonna win. Let's just be honest, whatever. So even if he hit another truck, he might still win that. You know what I mean? So I would say, if he's not a good communicator, like you said, like try to hang around with him more on the weekends, kind of see how that goes, whatever.
Yeah.
And because I was going to ask too, is he a local or is he over the road? But since he's local, that's a good sign. So now, they can probably see each other more, or kind of, build that bond together, whatever. So she can open them up or see what's, seeing what's going on. Because they got around the same amount of kids, I think I heard. They're around the same ages. So that's awesome, whatever. So, could be a good fit. It's hard to find good men out here. Just like it's hard to find good women. So when you see one, you better snatch them up quick because somebody else will.
That is not a lie. Yeah, they seem like a good fit from what she said. Obviously, we don't have this man's we didn't get his side, but maybe we could figure that out, and I could talk to her on the back end and kind of see what type of guy he is and help you, Antoinette, out. I know you probably had a disconnection, but I will be ending this live in a few. I do want to get through a few videos before I go. And I'm going to drop a link. I want you guys to check me out on another live after this. So let me get into this clip. Oh, all right. Hold on, y'all. I don't know why it does that. Okay. Hold on, you guys. I want you to see this.
I was going to say, I'm going to drop out so you can finish your show, but great show. Nice talking with you again later. Peace.
All right. Peace. Thank you.
Relationships 90% of the time, it's just the dude constantly trying to prove he's a good. I say to women all the time, "Oh, are you a good girlfriend?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Why?" "Oh, because I'm this and this and this." I was coaching a guy. What was, "Look, Tate, I know this is weird, but I super want this girl. Can you just tell me what to text?" So for a while, I was texting for him to get this girl, and I text the girl like, "Can you make soup?" And she was like, "Soup? What? No." I was like, "All right, ignore her." Dudes don't put anything on the girl. The girl qualifies instantly because she has tits. Hey, so you're watching this. Do you play a video game on easy? No. Because it's boring. Play it on hard so that you might lose. This is life.
All right, y'all. The point of that video was to say that there are women who ask for a lot of these different qualities, but then men, they're just like, okay, we'll do that. But then they don't like kind of challenge her either. It's kind of like, I'm going to do what you're saying, but what I want, I'm not going to get because I didn't even inquire about it. You must ask questions. You must express. You must speak. Like many have called, few have chosen. Make time for whatever is important. You have to do that, but realistically, because some people do have busy lifestyles, but you still have to make that time. So for our caller that was here, Hopefully they can make time on the weekends for now, because truck driving is a serious job. You have to keep your eyes focused on the road and not have any accidents and get to where you got to get to, because you got to get your money regardless. So this was definitely a great live. I want to play one more clip for you to get another insight of a man feeling that being boring is not a big deal.
The reason I feel like I'm gonna be single for a very, very, very long time is because I don't go out, bro. I'm a very, very, very boring person, and I feel like my lifestyle don't complement the girls in this generation. You feel me? Because all they want to do is go out, party, club, travel, and that's cool. I understand that. Go have y'all fun. But me, my shit consists of going to work, go get some food, and coming home, watch a movie, play the game. That's all I do. You feel me? That's all I do on the weekends. I don't go nowhere. I probably go out to eat with my family or something, come back home, I'm on a game watching a movie. That's all I do. And most girls don't like that. They feel, oh, you only thing you want to do is be on that game. Only thing you want to do is stay in the house. Yeah, like, why not? Ain't nothing out here. But besides clubbing and partying, like, I understand going out every once in a while. Like, y'all want to go out every single weekend. Every single weekend. No, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And if I find a girl who as boring as me, like to chill, watch a movie, go to work, come to the crib, we eat, like I say, watch a movie, I'm gonna marry her, bro. I'm gonna have to, because there's not a lot of boring girls and girls that's okay with you being boring as well. You feel me? So if I find her, shit, I'm gonna marry her. Got to. But you know, it is what it is for the time being.
All right, so I'm actually gonna have that guy here on my live on Saturday. You don't want to miss that. He has a lot of insight on how he feels, as you can see in that video. He's explaining to us women, it's not that big of a deal. We not going out every weekend. I'm not wasting no more money. But as you can see, the guy does have a job. He has, you know, his own car and stuff like that. The game, exactly. I don't know these guys with these games, but it's like we can't take the game out of them. It don't matter who they are. You could be, you know, a millionaire. If they got time for a game, they're going to play that thing. So I don't know. We're going to talk about it, but on Saturday, I will have him in here, you guys. Oh, you trying to get back on? Is it not working, Antoinette? Yeah. Listen, this guy will be here on Saturday. Please join my live on Saturday, okay? I want to hear what this young man has to say, because I'm young, but I know he's younger than me. He got to be about 20, 21. All right. We got to see what these young people are talking about, how they feel, and everything is very important, especially if you have teenager children or, you know, young adults. We must understand and that part of the generation, how they think and how they feel, and can we look past a man being boring? Can we? Because this guy is like, you know, you should. It's not that serious. I'm still able to give you a stable lifestyle. I'm still able to make sure I love you and care for you. I still make sure that I'm going to provide for you. We just not going out every weekend. I can't blame him for saying that. I love the insight. So be here on Saturday. I will have him in the building. Many call if you have chosen says facts. He said a mouthful. Yes, be here on that. I am interested. Antoinette, I have to go, but when I'm done with my other live, I'm going to call you so we could finish our conversation behind the scenes. It was a pleasure having you. And even the caller that was trying to call earlier, I will have him on here as well. He has a lot to say, you guys. You don't want to miss that. His name is Demetrius. I will make sure I put his name into the title so you guys know Demetrius was the guy that was trying to call. It didn't work, but he has a lot of insight. You got to hear what he has to say for a male's perspective. Well, on that note, please get the likes up if you haven't already. If you're new, get the likes up. If you haven't liked it, like the video. If you have never been here before, please show some love and subscribe to my channel. You do not want to miss none of my lives or none of my videos. I try to give enough insight so anyone could learn something. And if you feel you want to come on this panel and teach something, please join my live and click on any link that I provide for you to call in. But thanks for being here. And I will see you. My next live will be, my days are going fast. Friday is my next live. Okay. I'm going to have a couple on here. We're going to talk about how they maintain their relationships through the ups and downs. You don't want to miss that, because maybe that could help you in your future, present, whatever. All right. On that note, I am out of here.
Artlist.io.
I believe one day, I believe in the future. I believe
Music licensing reimagined.
I believe what you truly desire, you can bring to pass. All you need is a focus and a story to hold, and the faith that you can achieve what's inside your soul. Someday we'll make it on by. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way,
Artlist.io.
gonna get. Someday we'll make it on by. Someday. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get better. Know that you can make it. Know the time, cause they will try to take it.
Music licensing reimagined.
But whatever you do, don't let them break it. These moments just a new chance to take into your own hands and shape the life you see inside your dreams. Someday we'll make it on by. Someday. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get.
Artlist.io.
Someday we'll make it on. Someday we'll make it. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get better. In your heart there lives a dream for your soul to master.
Music licensing
From the moment that
reimagined.
you breathe, get to chasing after, yeah. All that you want, all that you ever dreamed. You can make anything of this life. Someday we'll make it on by. Other days we only can Someday we only try. No matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get
Artlist.io.
someday. Other days we only can try. Other days, no matter what people say. No matter what they say, we gonna get. Someday we'll make it on by. Someday. Other days we only can try. Other days, no matter what people say.
Music licensing reimagined.
Someday we'll make it on by. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what we're gonna get. We're gonna get. Someday we'll make it on by. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what we say. Either way, we're gonna get better.
Artlist.io.